Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Paleo, and welcome to some quick book talks. Today's episode will focus on new sequels to popular series. I've picked three new titles for you that we have in the LRC, and I'm going to be sharing with you just a little bit about each one. And as always, you can come and check out any of these books in the LRC when you have time. All right, so our first book is Leah on the Offbeat. This is the sequel to the very popular Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. This was an Abraham Lincoln book 2 years ago, and it was a really big hit. It was turned into a movie recently, just called Love, Simon. If you have seen the movie, you can jump right into this second book because it is actually told from Leah's perspective. Simon is in this book. Many of the other characters that you know are in this book as well. This is a continuation of their story, but just from a different narrator. The story really focuses on relationships, friendships, growing up. It has a lot to do with what are they going to do now that they're graduating high school and moving on to college. If you're somebody who likes a book that has a lot of drama, relationship issues, lots of different like ups and downs, then you are going to love this title. The second book that I have for you is The Court of Shadows. This is the second book in the House of Furies novel series, and the author, Madeline Rowe, writes anything that's kind of like dark, spooky, a little bit creepy. If you read the first book, then you know that the story follows Louisa, who is a girl that is kind of brought into being part of like a house that calls to people who have done wrong deeds. And then the devil deals with them when they get there to the house. So this second book, you really need to have read the first one to understand where the second book starts off. And this really follows Louisa's journey as the first book ends. So then this one begins right away. And it just continues her story. You find out so much more about Louisa's backstory, like where did she come from and her family history and things like that. And then it really leaves it on a cliffhanger for the third book, which will be coming out next year. Our last book for this episode is Someday by David Leviathan. So I know a lot of you have read Every Day. It's been a really big hit, I would say, in the last 2 years. It just became a movie. So if you've seen Every Day, you would love to read the book if you haven't, because it's so close to the way that the movie portrays it. And then the continuation story, Someday, is really new. We just got it in the LRC. And it's definitely a one that you would have to have read first book before you could move on to this one, because the story picks up a few months after Every Day ends. The story still switches perspectives. So you see the visions of A, which is the being that kind of goes between bodies every day. And then you see the perspective of Rhiannon, which is the girl that he's fallen in love with. And then you see this new character emerges called X. X is kind of like the twist to this second book, where there's actually an evil version of A. So definitely a book that you're going to want to check out if you've seen Every Day or seen the movie. Even if you've just seen the movie, you could jump right into the second book, I think, because the movie does such a good job of laying out all the major plot lines that are in the first book in general. All right, well, that's it for me today. But as always, if you need any of these books or other recommendations, come see me in the LRC. There's a book out there waiting for you, and we just have to find it.